Hi there, everyone. Thanks for coming down to listen to my presentation. I'm just going to present today about a proposal that I have developed, and it's to increase food safety and hygiene in our shop, at our coffee shop, Cups Cafe. And so the first thing I'll talk about is the problem at hand. I think that we all know that food sometimes gets wasted or is improperly cared for. It's sitting out. It's growing bacteria on it, and it's maybe not our fault because we do our best to try and accommodate all the food prep that needs to be done. But of course, when the door is ringing off the hook and we need to go out there and make coffee for people, it gets really hard to um, finish a project once we've started it. So, for example, the other day I was making fresh rolls, which require meat, chicken exactly, and once I started, the doorbell kept ringing, and I didn't have time to complete my fresh rolls, and the chicken sat out. And when I returned 2 hours later, it was no longer good, and I had to throw it out. So I mean, we're losing a lot of money on food costs, as well as I know some people, if maybe they're not realizing it or not, are continuing to use this food that may be unsafe. So I think a big issue that we have is safety for our customers and for ourselves. If you just look on this slide here, I have some figures about foodborne illness, and people always think that it's food poisoning and you have it for a couple days and you get over it, but quite a few people in the country were hospitalized for this kind of illness, and it's especially dangerous for people that have underlying sicknesses or if they're elderly. And we do have a lot of elderly people that that frequent our cafe, and I think that it's our duty to look out for these people. And yeah, at the bottom there it says that 47.8 million estimated cases of foodborne illness in the country, and so that's estimated, but that's a lot of people, and we need to do our part to prevent things like that from happening, especially if we're going to be selling food. So my proposal. Oh, I forgot one thing actually. We also know that there's a big problem with our dish system. The dishes stack up and no one does them because no one has time to do them. And the sinks are, I'm sure, just crawling with bacteria. And again, that's another safety and hygiene issue that needs to be dealt with. And so my proposal is that we create a new position that will be responsible for responsibilities like food prep. So, of course, all of our wraps, all of our egg sandwiches, tuna salad, all of that would be all prepped by one person, so they know when it was made, if it's safe to use. It won't be sitting out because this person won't be having to run back and forth from the back to the front to take care of customers. Another responsibility for this position would be washing and sanitizing the dishes, replenishing our baking display case so that we don't need to be running around with food like maniacs. And another problem, or another job, I guess, would be to sign for our shipments, for our food shipments that come in. I know sometimes they come in and we'll have them just boxes and boxes of cheese and various perishable goods that sit out because we sign for it and don't have time to put it away. So all of these jobs would be the priority of this position, so that we could count on safe food, safe dishes, and having backup of everything. So yeah, some benefits of this new position I think would be the health. Like, we could be guaranteeing the health of customers and ourselves. Of course, tidiness and maintenance of prep product would increase because it would be one person's sort of one person's child, right? So they'd be able to know what goes where and what's old and what's new. And on top of this, we'd be saving money, which is great. Food costs would decrease because people wouldn't have to throw out things once they were, well, the ones they thought they were no good for. Like I said, I had to throw out maybe $20 worth of chicken breasts, which is a shame. And things like this wouldn't happen if we had someone that made it their goal to take care of these issues. And I mean, some of the things would be baristas, like our baristas can serve customers, and they would be just, imagine the service they'd be able to provide, that knowing that they don't have to go behind the door and deal with a bunch of dishes. And of course, standardization of products, because the one person would be making these things, and so they would all be the same, and we wouldn't have, I know I've had a few people who said to me, well, the last time I got this, it had an extra piece of cheese, or the last time I did this, and we wouldn't have these issues anymore because it would be the responsibility of one person. So I'm just going to end with a request for action. I think that the problems that we face can be fixed. Maybe more easy than we originally thought, and I really hope that you take my proposal into consideration. And yes, thank you for listening, and I hope you think about what I said.